Colts have just made Fletcher their newest player.
There have been plenty of incredible moments in college football history, but rarely do you see a game end in a safety. Late in the fourth quarter, his team was down, and its opponent was trying to run out the clock. However, he came hard off the snap, demolished two blockers, and crashed down on the quarterback before he even had time to hand off the ball. That safety was enough to give them the win and send his draft stock soaring. His raw strength alone was enough for this team to take a chance on him, and we'll see if he can develop into a dominant defensive lineman.
The Rams plan to go climbing. They've just picked Hill.
Successes and failures seem to go hand in hand during a very inconsistent season for him. Leading into his pro day, scouts expressed a great deal of concern over his inability to string together consistent positive performances. Those who attended came away extremely impressed with his raw physical abilities and footwork, feeling that with time and proper coaching, he could develop into a formidable NFL lineman. This pick may not pay immediate dividends, but it's a solid investment in the future of the offensive line.